Hi friends, once again you are welcome to my chemistry class. In this class, we have been dealing with examination past questions. And so, I believe what we did in preparation for your WAEC, you enjoyed. And that's the reason we are back again to show you what you're supposed to know about NECO Practical before you write it. So in our class today, we will be dealing with NECO Practical Chemistry 2025, question 2. We have finished question 1. If you did not watch it, go and watch it. Okay, so in question 2, without wasting time, they have given you 2 different salts or samples, C and D. And they said C and D are samples of inorganic salt. Carry out the following exercises on them. Record your observation and inference. State the conclusion you draw from the results of each test. A. To sample C, add 10 cm³ of distilled water. Shake vigorously and divide the resulting solution into 5 portions. To the first portion, add NaOH aqueous in drops and in excess. To the second portion, add NH3 aqueous in drops and in excess. To the third portion, add dilute HCl, then heat and allow to cool. To the fourth portion, add Ki solution and heat. To the fifth portion, add dilute H2SO4, then freshly prepared FeSO4 solution. In slanting position, add conc H2SO4, concentrated H2SO4. To sample D, add 5 cm³ of distilled water and shake. To about 2 cm³ portion of solution D, add BaCl2 aqueous followed by dilute HCl and heat. So if these are the tests that I want to give you in preparation for your NECO Practical Chemistry 2025 question 2. So I have selected so many tests that you can carry out using these 2 samples, C and D. It is not necessarily means that they will give you all of this, but know them because you don't know anyone they will select from this and give you. Okay, now let's see the solution to this problem. Now you draw the table. Start by drawing the table and write on it test, observation, and inference. So, as usual, they are solid samples. You start by dissolving C. You start with C. Add distilled water to C. And then check and see whether it will dissolve. If you do that, this is what I did. If you do that, it dissolves to give a colorless solution. And that means that it is the C is what? Soluble salt. C is soluble. So it's soluble salt. Now, from that solution now, pick your first portion. You can write first portion of C aqueous, or you write C aqueous plus NaOH aqueous. Do not fail to put this C aqueous, this aqueous. If you just write C, that means you are referring to the C sample, sample C. They will mark you bad. And note also that when you don't get the test here well, correctly, even when this place is correct, observation, they will mark you bad. Even when inference is correct, they will still mark you bad. So test for you to get observation and inference. They will not mark here, but they will mark here and they will mark here. So when you don't get this, you won't get this and this. When you get this and you get this, and you don't get this, if you don't get this, you won't get this. So you must get this for you to get this. You must get this for you to get this. So note all of that. So now, moving forward, take the first portion and then add what? NaOH aqueous. When you do that, in drops, white PPT is formed. And that white PPT that is formed is telling you that either this or this is present in that solution. So Ca2 plus, or do not write and, is or Pb2 plus that is present. If you say this and this are present, it is not true, because the two of them are not there. It's just one. They will mark you bad. So you move to in excess by adding more of NaOH to it. So when you do that, PPT will, that white PPT will dissolve. And then if it dissolves, like in my own case, you are suspecting Pb. You have removed this now. Ca2 plus is out from your mind. So you are suspecting what? Pb2 plus to be present. So they said also the second portion, take another portion and add NH3 aqueous in drops. So when you do that, white PPT will be formed. You see white PPT formed. And then the next is what? Pb2 plus that is present. If it is Ca, this white PPT will not get formed. Ammonia will not be able to precipitate calcium ion. Okay, so now that is that. In excess, PPT did not dissolve, or PPT insoluble. So when you write that, you come here and then tell them that it is what? Pb2 plus that is also, that is present. Now the next portion, you test it with dilute HCl. You observe white PPT formed. And then in this white PPT formed, you should suspect what? Pb2 plus. I hope you are following. Okay. Moving forward, they said you should heat it. After that, after adding that, heat it. By heating, the white PPT will disappear. You see it disappearing. It disappears. Now, hold on. Don't rush into inference. Hold on. Allow it to cool. Remove it from the heat and then keep. When it cools, check again. you see that the white PPT will reappear on cooling. It will reappear. So once it reappears, that means that PB2 plus is confirmed. That's confirmatory test for it. Or you can as well confirm it in this other way, because I do not know whether they will give you a dilute HCl or they will give you Ki, aqueous solution of potassium iodide for confirmatory test. So you can also use this to confirm that. So take next portion and test. So you will see that when you add aqueous Ki and you heat it, a bright yellow PPT will get formed. A bright yellow PPT will be formed, and that indicates the presence of PB2 plus. So you tell them that. Now the fifth portion, they said you should add dilute H2SO4, and when you do that, you also add freshly prepared FeSO4. So when you do that, you have white PPT formed. Now, next, they said you should keep it slantingly, bend it. Don't keep it straight. Keep it like this, and then pour this is your test tube. Keep it like this. Pour this thing inside the concentrated H2SO4. Slide it in. When you do that, you see that a brown ring will form in between the two liquid layers. The first layer of FeSO4 that was inside that H2SO4 in the tube will separate out by adding concentrated H2SO4. It will separate out. In the middle, you see something like ring. So when that is formed, you are now confirming what? Nitrate 5 ion present in that solution. That's what you are testing for. So once you see the ring in the middle of these two solutions, you see something that looks like ring. That is to prove to you that you are testing for nitrate 5 ions. Okay, so now go to sample D. Sample D plus distilled water. When you add distilled water on D, it dissolves to form colorless solution. And then D is a soluble what? Salt. You know that. The next point, they said you should use sample of that solution, solution D, and then add barium chloride solution to it. When you do that, you see white PPT formed. That white PPT that is formed indicates these 3 ions, that one of them is present. So when you add that, either this or this or this is present. Okay. Now, they said again you should do what? Add dilute HCl. When you add that, the white PPT dissolves. If the white PPT dissolves with dilute HCl, now you should remove your mind from this. this will not dissolve, but this and this can dissolve. And then a gas is coming out. The gas is what will differentiate this from this. Okay, the gas that will come out from here is odorless, but this one has irritating smell. That's the first point. This one will turn, both of them will turn uh, blue litmus paper to red, but that cannot differentiate them. So other things that you are going to see will differentiate them. So the first thing, you perceive the odor. When you perceive the odor of the gas that is coming out by heating, so when it dissolves, now heat it. As you heat it, a colorless gas you will not see the color, with an irritating smell evolved. I mentioned that before now. So the irritating smell will differentiate it from CO2, like that of a burning matches. So when you perceive that odor like a burning matches, your mind should move away from CO3 there, and then you concentrate on what? SO3 2 minus. So after perceiving the burning matches, now the gas, test it with what? Litmus paper, damped blue litmus paper. If it turns red, come to the inference and tell them in that particular line, tell them that that gas that you are testing, which turns damped blue litmus paper to red, is what? Acidic. It's acidic gas that can do that. Okay, then you continue to write by testing, move on to test it. They said the gas changed purple acidified solution of KMNO4 to colorless without a deposit of yellow sulfur. So this gas that is coming out from that test by heating will turn acidified, purple color of acidified potassium tetraoxomanganese 7 colorless. The color of this man is purple. So by bubbling that gas that is coming out, the gas will turn, or the color of this will turn colorless, meaning that is what the gas is reducing this color, this purple color, to colorless, and it is not CO2. CO2 cannot do that. CO2 cannot do that. It's always what? SO2, which comes from where? SO3. So you have confirmed that out of these three things, that substances that you suspected, the outcome at the end, you are able to prove that it is SO3 2 minus that is in that salt. So I believe this test, whether they give you KMNO4 or they don't, when you get other facts from here, just make sure you write it and end it this way so that you get all your marks. So now, I believe this class has helped you. Watch it closely as many times as possible, and then understand this table. Understand the table, the theory part of it. The theoretical part of it is more than even the practical, because if you understand the theory the way I am giving you here very well, by the time you do the practical, because they will always be telling you what to add, already you have known what you you're supposed to get. By adding this to this, you know what you're supposed to get. So doing that, you will understand what to write. But if you don't understand this theoretical aspect of it first, you will not understand when those observations will come out, what to write. So note this, and I believe it will help you a long way in this your NECO chemistry practical. Keep on following the channel, subscribe to it, and then invite your friends, and then ask them to follow the channel. It will help them in this upcoming NECO examination. Thank you. Till we meet some other time.